So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this free video training. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you're using a 3-step advertising system to add an extra $50,000 to $100,000 per month in additional monthly recurring revenue for our clients. And if you stick till the end of this training, then you can copy this whole system and implement it in your business and see better returns. So before we dive into the actual training, I'm just going to walk you through some of the client results that we've had after implementing this whole system. So for this client here, we scaled them up from 0 to 5.8 CR in just under 5 months at a 10x ROAS. And let me walk you through the live ad account as well, so that you can see behind the scenes and you can see what's going on. So we're in the client's live Shopify dashboard here, and I'm going to walk you through the results month by month. So in the first month when we started working with them, that was in the month of October, we started working from scratch and we took this brand up to 7 crore rupees. So in the first month itself, we launched the ads somewhere on 28th of October. So first day, we scaled it up to 116 orders. Second day, we ramped that up and we scaled to 167 orders on like 75,000 in the third month. We scaled it up even more and from like 100 orders to with 5,54,000 in sales. And then on the 31st October, we scaled it up to close to like 6 lakh rupees. And for the whole month of October, like just like 4 or 5 days that we ran, we generated around 15 lakh rupees. Now in the month of November, the 15 lakh rupees, we turned it into 55 lakh rupees. And these dips that you see here was when we had to pause the ads due to inventory issues. So we would scale the ads, we would have to pause it again, scale it back up, pause it, and scale it up and pause it again. So this kept on happening, and until the inventory issue was sorted. And then we scaled pretty rapidly in the month of December. So let me just put last 365 days filter here. And in the month of December, we ramped it up pretty aggressively. And as you can see, right, like close to 7 crore rupees generated till date. And it's just been like 7 to 8 months that the brand is roughly operating, and they have been facing inventory issues. So that is why we had to scale it up, then bring it back down. And now the client has given these units for production, so it's going to take about 2 months or so. Then once it's back up, we're going to scale pretty aggressively. And going back to our case studies here, and for this other client here, we generated close to $60,000 in sales the last 90 days. And that's, like almost 72% growth compared to their previous months. And for another client here, this is with Facebook ads. This client, before working with us, they used to work with another agency, and they were not happy with their ROAS. So we came on board. They were getting close to like, 2 to 3x ROAS. We came on board, and within the first month of working together, we spent 2,82,000 rupees over here, and we generated around, 24 lakhs back with a cost per purchase of 124 rupees and 8.7x ROAS. And for this other client here in the home decor niche, before working with us, they were doing roughly around 2x ROAS. And after working with us, we scaled them up to 23 lakh rupees with a 3.6x ROAS. And this month we are going to close at 30 lakh rupees in sales. And another client here, before working with us, they spent 1 lakh rupees and they made back 60,000 rupees in revenue. That was a 0.6x ROAS, so negative ROAS. After working with us, we spent 70,000 rupees, so less than what they were previously spending, and we ramped their ROAS up to a 6.5x ROAS with a 4.5 lakh in revenue. And this is what the client had to say about that. And further, he even ended up going on to Shark Tank. And here's another client that was running the ads himself, and we came on board, and within the first month we generated close to a 8.29 ROAS with 2,50,000 rupees in ad spend and 20 lakh made back at a 128 rupee cost per purchase and close to 2,000 sales. So who is this training for? This training is for brand owners who are facing inefficiencies in their current advertising system. So if you are someone who's tired of wasting a lot of money on ineffective solutions and poor marketing overall that are not taking your brand anywhere, you have low ROAS, you have the potential to scale, but the results are not there. And you might be running the ads yourself, or you might be working with an agency, but your brand has a lot of potential, but you're not able to tap into that potential. If that's you, then go ahead and book a call. If you are someone who's been burnt previously by another agency or multiple agencies, and this is like pretty much almost 90 or 80% of the clients that we bring on board, they have a bad experience working with other agencies before, and they just promise them the moon and then deliver nothing. So if you are a brand who's currently working with an ineffective agency in terms of results, in terms of communication, in terms of lack of transparency, then go ahead and book a call below. If you are a time-strapped entrepreneur, meaning you're doing the ads yourself, and as a founder of the brand, you shouldn't be spending your time in the ads manager. You have other things to take care of, right? Like you have the logistics to handle, you have the customer support to take care of, you have your team to run, you have logistics to take care of, you have all these other things that need your attention. and you just don't have the time to run the ads and go into the details of scaling them and optimizing them each and every day, seeing what's working, seeing what's not, because your focus is much better spent elsewhere rather than the ads mentions. Or if you're someone who's growth focused and you run a growth focused brand, but right now you don't have the right marketing partners. So if you're someone who's looking to turn the ad spend into consistent, profitable and predictable revenue with clear reporting, dedicated support and proven success, then continue watching the video, or you can just skip this whole video and book a call below and we'll take things from there. But if you fall in any of these categories, then feel free to continue watching the video, and by the end of the video you'll be fully ramped to scaling your brand and adding an extra $50,000 to $100,000 in monthly recurring revenue. So if I'm a new face to you, then my name is Sairaj and I'm the founder of ASX Media. We have been operating for the last 4 years with an average client retention rate of close to 9 to 12 months. And like any business can only operate so long as they are making money. And in the agency space, the barrier of entry is very low. So anyone can start an agency, but most of them, they can't keep it running for 4 years. And we are only able to do this because we have a successful clientele that trusts us and we're able to get results for them. So that is why, we're able to run and operate for the past 4 years and continue doing so. And our average monthly client retention rate is 9 to 12 months minimum. And we obviously we have clients who are with us for the last 2 years and beyond. So ASX Media has become one of the most prevalent and respected e-commerce agencies that has helped several e-commerce brands grow to multiple 6, 7, 8 figures in monthly recurring revenue. And currently we're working with a lot of Shark Tank brands as well. And these are some of the news outlets that have covered our story. Now, you must have seen me talk about, Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok ads, and I want to show you why exactly we focus on that. So as you can see here, Facebook has roughly 3 billion monthly users that is reported in the year of 2023. Google has roughly about 99,000 search queries every second, and TikTok has around 1 billion users every month worldwide. And if you look at the most dominant social media platforms, it's always been Facebook, YouTube, which is owned by Google, WhatsApp, which is owned by Meta, that comes under Facebook and everything, Messenger again owned by Meta, Instagram owned by Meta, TikTok, and search engines like Google and everything. All the other platforms, they don't have that much search volume and they don't have that many users. So that is why we focus mainly on TikTok and Google and Facebook ads. And just by being on these platforms and advertising correctly, you can add a lot more to your brand. For example, with this client here, just in 2 weeks of working together, we scaled them from a 3x ROAS to a 4.2x ROAS. And again, this client here, before working with us, they used to run the ads themselves and he didn't have the time to scale it further. He was getting good results, but he couldn't take it to the next level. So first month of us working together, we ramped him up. He was doing around 2 lakhs in ad spend, and he was roughly at a 5 to 6x ROAS. And within the first month of us working together, we spent more than what he was spending because he wanted us to come in and scale him up. So we spent 5,40,000 in ad spend and 53 lakh in terms of attributable revenue, with a close to a 10x ROAS and 4,000 in ad spend. For another client here, 41,000 in ad spend and 3,72,000 in sales at a 9x ROAS. And this is with TikTok shop. Started their TikTok shop, and in just under 7 days, from zero to $2,000 in revenue. And for another client here, we did close to 29 lakh rupees and 2,800 in orders. And this client started working with us in the month of April, and we scaled him up from scratch. So this 30 lakh revenue you see was done completely from scratch. And same with this client, right here you can see the dips in the orders. This was when we had to pause the orders and we had to wait for the client to update his inventory, because we were scaling pretty aggressively. We were doing close to 70, 80 orders per day, and we even crossed the 100 order per day mark. And he eventually ran out of inventory. So we had to we had to stop the ads and wait for the client to update his inventory, and then we resumed the ads. So, good problem to have there. So how are we able to replicate these results for most of our clients? So it just comes down to these 3 things that I'm about to show you in this video. So the prerequisites that you need before scaling is firstly a good ad copy and a creative that stops the scroll. You need the right media buying strategies, and you need lucrative offers. Now, how are you going to come up with all of these things? I'm going to show you in this video, and I'm going to break it down step by step. So firstly, as David Ogilvy says, to write down copy that stops the scroll, firstly you need to understand your audience to the letter, meaning you need to know your audience thoroughly and what their pain points are and everything. So how do you do that? We have this framework inside of our agency that we use, and this framework basically helps us identify what exactly the issue is. Now this, whenever a new client comes on board, the first step that our media buyers do and our copywriters do is fill this out. Now it takes a lot of time. It takes 4 to 5 hours on an average to fill this out in detail, because you're not just doing it once, but you're doing it twice, and then you're doing it thrice. So the first time you fill this, you can get answers pretty quickly. But then the more deeper you dig and the more you understand your ideal customer and the more in depth you go, you realize that you come up with different problems and different solutions. So we use this to understand our customers pain points, all of the product features, all of their benefits, all of their frustrations, everything like that, all of the fears, perceptions regarding the product, all desires that they have, and their current state versus the ideal state that they want to go to. Now, most of the copywriters, most of the agencies, what they do is they simply go ahead and craft the copy, and they just let it run loose. But if you take this one step, and if you spend like these 5 hours, because it's just you're just going to spend these 5 hours once and then it's done. So if you spend these 5 hours and if you take the time to draft the proper scripts and the proper pain points and everything, then you have this asset that you can refer back to while crafting ad copies, and this helps you craft so many good copies. And I'm going to show you what impact this has as well. Secondly, we use another framework. Maybe one angle would be regarding the product benefits, or maybe like the product features, what problem it solves. Maybe another angle can be regarding getting the customer over the fence, like gaining their trust and addressing all issues such as like any side effects maybe the product might have. Basically like building credibility and trust. And the third angle might be something like a benefit, like a pain point angle, wherein you're just talking about the customer's pain point and the customer is right now and where they'll be after using your product. So we use this whole framework here to understand exactly the product details and what we need to convey, and this helps us craft better messaging. And then we go here, craft different angles, and whatever angles work, we come up with like more multiple variations of those angles. Now the second thing that we do is we help craft high converting creatives as well. Now with creative ideation, what we like to start off with is basically these different types of creative. Firstly is your customer facial expression, wherein you have the customer giving you like a very over exaggerated expression, and when you're scrolling it just has a better stop rate. So ads that we are testing and it's working well. Second ad that we are testing is the you versus competitor ad, wherein you compare your brand versus the competitor, and you don't have to like name your competitor, you can just say the other brand or something like that, and you compare all of your unique selling points. You show why you're better and what results your customers will get after buying your products rather than your competitors' products. Then we have the customer testimonial screenshot. We can we just take like a Twitter screenshot of the customers and we run it as the ad. And they obviously like the other kind of creators that we test is firstly the user generated unboxing, then we have tutorials, and then finally we have the objection handling and FAQ ads. So with this whole framework, right, you have the FAQ section as well, and this plays a very crucial role in your ads as well, and not just in your copywriting. So for the FAQs, what you can do is you can go to any of your competitor website if you don't have enough reviews, and you can just give them through the reviews and see what people are saying about your product, see what like what objections they're having, what's the frequently asked question, and then you can address them in your creative and in your ads. For another client here, we got them a 10x ROAS at 2,68,000 rupees in ad spend and 29 lakh rupees in sales. And for another client here, we were able to increase the ROAS from a 3x to a 4x in almost a month working together. And the same client, the very next month, at the point of recording this, at the point of taking this screenshot, we were able to get them to a 4.85 ROAS. So we went from a 3.85 to a 4.85 in just under a span of 60 days or so. To show you more results and to show you like how this works, here's another client that came to us, and this is an agency ads account that we're using. So it has a credit line. So we spent 50,000 rupees and we were able to make back 5,62,000 rupees in sales at 11x ROAS, and we got roughly about 500 purchases. So now for this client, we started working from scratch. So the Pixel had no data, and this was a pretty fresh account. So if you already have data, then you can see how this can help you get better results. So let's talk about media buying. So the current strategy that we're using for media buying is focusing more on the inputs, and that automatically helps us get the output. Now, what I mean by that, and let's just take a real life example. What is the first thing you do when you want to buy something online? You obviously, you go and you Google it. You don't open Facebook or Instagram and you don't search for the product, right? So similarly, what we are currently doing is we are using Google Ads to feed data onto Facebook ads. Now Meta is a targeting based platform that targets the users based on their interest, and you have to pay Meta based on like whatever your CPMs are. So you're not charged based on clicks, or you're not charged on any other attribute, but you have to pay them based on how much they're charging you per thousand reach. So this cost varies depending on your competition, your category, what time of the year you're running, etc. And because the data is not accurate, the pixel is in other words, it's trained on low intent data, because Meta has to find, the Facebook pixel has to find customers for you and doesn't know much about your brand, or it doesn't know much about your business. So overall, the data that Meta, if you are solely running Facebook ads or Instagram ads, the data that, the pixel gets trained on, if you're just using Facebook or Google ads solely, right? You run the ads, you set up the campaign, you set up the pixel, and then the pixel goes and, it finds new audiences for you. Now, what happens with this is Facebook doesn't know your ideal customer, and it has to find you audiences based on what it thinks is your ideal customer. Whereas what we do is we train the pixel with Google ads. Now, Google sends you traffic based on searches, and people only search a relative keyword if they're interested around something. Or, if you want to, let's say you have a pet and you want to buy pet food for your dog, right? You go online and you search pet food. Now, what this is going to do is your Google ads are going to show up on the search results. And when someone clicks on your Google ad, right? Let's say he doesn't convert or he or she doesn't convert, but they still end up going on your website. The pixel stores this data, the Facebook ad pixel, it stores this data. And let's say you get 1,000 visitors with Google ads. Now, these 1,000 visitors that you're getting, they are much more high intent than what you would have gotten with Facebook. Because Facebook, the thing with Facebook is that, if someone's scrolling through the feed and they see something that intrigues them, they might click it. And it might be a low intent click. Like they might not even have a pet. They might, simply be interested in pets, or, they might simply be interested in animals all around. They click on your ad, then the pixel gets trained on that data. But with Google, it's like high intent, high quality data, and data of people who are already, searching for the solutions that you guys have. So once this data is fed into the pixel, your pixel automatically understands the kind of targeting that you want and the kind of customers that you're looking for. And then once you start using this into your lookalikes and, into your retargeting, automatically the whole funnel improves, because now you have high quality data and you're not feeding it with, junk information. So these are some of the results that, we are able to get. So for this client here, we spent $2,000 on Facebook on Google ads, and with a 3.5x ROAS, we got them $10,000 back. And with Facebook, what we did was we trained it up with Google data, and then we used it, with the advantage shopping campaign with the custom audience as well. And we spent $900 and made $9,000 back. So that's a 10x ROAS. And this improved much. This was like a better improvement compared to what they were doing the previous month. And simply by the introduction of Google Ads, we were able to provide this solution for them. So with this, you have around 30% of your media buying strategy taken care of, but still there is around 70% left. So how do you cover that? For that, what you need to do is you need to look into the account structure. Now, when you run the ads, they are not going to be profitable all the time. You're going to have issues, and you need to identify those issues, and you need to work on fixing them. What we've seen most of the times happen is that other agencies, or the freelancers who are running the ads, or the founders themselves, most of the times what happens is that they are not aware of what needs to be done if an ad is unprofitable. Now, every time that you run the ad, it's not going to be profitable 100% of the time. What happens in most cases is that they turn off the ad, or they change the campaigns, or they turn off the whole creative, or they keep on trying these random changes and nothing works out. So to eliminate the guesswork and to make sure that we are taking the right approach and understanding what exactly is going on and why it's not working out, we've built this in-house framework. Now, if you ask me 3 years ago, 4 years ago when I started, the first year we used to do the same, and almost every other agency does it. If the ad is not working, you simply try to figure out why it's not working, and you simply make changes and you hope something sticks to the word. So right now what we have done is we realized that that was not something that would work long term. So we analyzed all of our successful clients, and we put this framework together and to pinpoint exactly what the problem. So with this, what happens is, we run the ads. Let's say they're not profitable after 3 days. So we take quick action. If they are profitable, then, we continue scaling. If they're not profitable, then we go down this whole framework and we identify why exactly they're not profitable. So it could be the reason that, you have a high cost per purchase, or it could be the reason that you have a high initial checkout cost, or maybe, you have a high cart cost. And most of the times you are not aware where exactly the problem is. But with this, what happens is that, you are able to identify the exact issue, and then it gives you a solution to fix that as well. So let's say that, we identify that this is the problem, and it gives you like the whole problem onto why your campaigns are not profitable, and then it gives you the whole solution as well, and what you can do to fix it. So we have this whole framework that it's like a very long detailed framework, and it has the solution to every problem that you can think of. It can be like a problem at the media buying level, it can be problem at the CRO level, it can be problem at the creative or the copy level, or it might be something off with the offer itself. So with this, we are able to pinpoint exactly where the issue is and what you need to do in order to fix that issue. So after doing after implementing this across multiple other clients, multiple other accounts, these are some more results that we're able to get. So for this client, $140,000 in sales, 1,000 orders. Here another client, 10x ROAS, 3,000 orders, 3.23 million rupees in sales. So this client here, 15x ROAS at 18 lakh ad spend. So we almost got them 2.8 crores just by spending 18 lakhs. And this is at scale. Like if you are able to maintain a ROAS at scale, then you must be doing something right. And what we do is the whole framework that I explained. Once you go through the whole framework 3 to 4 times, once you iterate it 3 to 4 times, you don't have any leaks in the funnel, and then it's just like you just see like more profitability overall. And when you scale, things don't break, and even if they break, we have a solution for them, and we have the exit solution. And once it's fixed, you get results like this. For this client here, before working with us, 0.96% conversion rate, we noticed that his funnel was broken, so we made some changes on the website after going through the whole framework that I just showed. And the first year of implementation, we got him a 4.35% conversion rate. So for the same amount, he's getting 4 times more sales. Now imagine what that would be at scale. And for another client here who is happy with the progress we made, another client last month close to like $30,000 in sales. Another client here, we took them from a 2.8x ROAS to a 3.7x ROAS, and this was our best month working with them. And before working with us, they came to us at like a 2x ROAS, and they were roughly doing about 20 lakh, and they were spending close to like 7 lakh in ads. So they were not profitable. And the first month we turned it around, and I don't know if you can see, but let me zoom in on here. So this was the results before working with us: 5 lakh on Facebook, 2 lakh on Google, total sales 20 lakh, 2.8x ROAS. First month working with us, we reduced the ad spend on Facebook because as I explained, the input output thing. We reduced the ad spend on Facebook, we reduced it on Google as well, but not as much as we did on Facebook. And for the reduced ad spend, we were almost getting the same sales, and we improved their ROAS. Second month working with them, we tried to maintain a little bit more predictability. And then third month, when we started scaled Google ads up to get more high intent data. Facebook ads we just increased by 10,000 rupees, and as you can see, like a 3.7x ROAS, and this was their best ROAS. And some more results here where we spent 5,800 rupees and we generated 1,20,000 rupees with a plus 20x ROAS. And some more results here. So the last thing that I'm going to focus on is the offers. Now, if you're running the old offer, like, get 10% off, get 20% off on your first purchase, or, get like free shipping, that no longer works because your margins are so tight, and with inflation and, with all the other logistics cost, with all the warehouse costs, with all the shipping, everything, you're left with very little margins. So what you need to do is you need to take into account your margins. You need to take account, how much you're making per order, what's your ideal cost per acquisition looking like, how it will look like after you make the changes to your offer, after you introduce the new offer and everything. And to ensure that, we are testing a lot of offers for our clients, and we are doing it keeping in mind the margins and the profitability. We have a Google sheet here with more than 500 websites and the best performing offers that they were running at the time, and we keep on updating it. So what we usually do is, let's say you are a client in the apparel niche, right? So you just press Command F and you can filter by apparel, and it's going to show you like every category, like every other competitor of yours who's running their website. It shows you the website, it shows you what offers they're running, and you can see like if it's a tiered offer, if it's free shipping, if it's a front-end offer, if it's a back-end offer. And with this, you can take inspiration and craft your own offers. And the reason this is so powerful than your normal 10% off, get 20% off, or your free shipping offers is because we tested it across multiple other clients as well. And like this client here, before doing the offer changes, they were running a free shipping offer, and you can see the results. Everything is down. Did $14,000 in sales, 124 orders, and at an average order value of 135. Now, not only their revenue was down, all of their numbers were down, and they were losing money with this offer. So what we did was we came ahead and we changed the offer up, and within the first month of changing the offer, this was the result. We got $27,000 in sales, almost like just 14% growth in total orders. But if you see the average order value, it was almost up by 50%. So because this was up by 50%, it snowballed into the total revenue of the store being up as well. But as you can see, like the other numbers such as the conversion rate, everything remained the same, just because we changed the average order value, and we did it by introducing a new offer. So the new offer was get free shipping on orders above $150 plus a gift worth $20 or something. And within the first month, it blew up because the orders were same, just the revenue came up. And with that, obviously, like the ROAS comes up if your cost per acquisition remains the same, and it should if you use the whole media buying, the problem diagnostic solution the PDF that I just showed. You can very much maintain a certain CPA, and anything above that is always profitable. Here's another client that we got like 2.3k dollars yesterday for, and here's another client. This is again an agency ads account. So we spent 4,75,000 rupees, and we generated 34 lakh rupees back at a 7.2x ROAS. And again, like, the offer changes here. You can see that for this client, we offer hacked, and we got like 19 orders with $2,000 in just a single order. And again, here another order, 41 items, and so close to like 5,000, close to like, 6.5 after adding the shipping and everything. So, if you follow all of these changes that I just talked about, adding an extra $100,000 each month to your bottom line would merely be a byproduct of doing so. And there are a couple of ways you can achieve this. So the first option you have is you can do it yourself, or you can hire another agency. Now, if you choose to do it yourself, or if you choose to hire another agency, the thing with the agency business model is that it's a very low entry business. So the barrier of entry is pretty low, but the upsides are huge. So everyone wants to start an agency, and you have thousands of agency owners here. And what happens most of the times is that the newer agencies don't have the proof of concept. And what that could result is, it would result in you struggling to build out your ad angles, your ad sets, your audiences, and overall, validating them with paid traffic. And if you don't have strong copywriting skills, then the ads would just get a false negative, and your metrics wouldn't be in KPI. So you would be losing money on the front end. And not only that, right, it has like a whole negative impact on your funnel as well. Like if you're not getting proper data at the top of the funnel, then it's pointless running any sort of retargeting campaign or any sort of upsells or anything like that. Secondly, you could waste a lot of time, and you could struggle with prospecting with the wrong messages, the wrong sequence, and overall using the wrong tools, because not each platform works for every specific brand. So you have to figure out what platform works for you and then scale specifically through that platform. Now, it's a tricky and very fast-paced platform, and there are constantly things that you need to keep up with. For example, the iOS 14 update was a big one. You have bidding, you have new competitors coming up, you have your page feedback score that you got to monitor. And if you don't have the proper experience, or if the agency who's handling this doesn't have the proper experience, and again, it's going to end up losing you a lot of time, and it's going to end up losing you a lot of money as well. And it's not as easy as it looks like. From like a 30,000 foot view, you can see and think like, it's easy, and you can run ads and be profitable. But it's extremely difficult, and you need to line up all the pieces properly, and you need to spin multiple plates simultaneously. So if you've never done this before, then there's a good chance that you will fail, or you will run out of money before you see any results. And you have things like launching new campaigns, you are scaling them, you've got to manage these, that said, and it's gonna take you weeks if you're new to this. And especially if the agency has other clients that they are getting good results for, and you're like a new brand to them, then during the first initial days they give you very little to no attention at all. And in terms of management, there's probably like way less management if you're working with like a bigger agency. So they are focused more on their bigger clients, getting them the results. And because of that, the other smaller clients and the other brands, the newer brands especially, they are neglected by the bigger agencies. And you could also lose money. You could tens of thousands of dollars or even hundreds of dollars over months or even years trying to figure it out on your own and making it profitable at scale. And if you don't have creative direction, then it's gonna leave you hanging by your competitors take all the market share. Because to be honest with you, getting profitable with ads, it's like 30% media buying, and the rest is just creatives, your ad copy, offers, and everything like that. If the agency, or if you're working with someone and if they don't give you like proper creative direction, then you're gonna burn a lot of money with them. A lot of agencies struggle to scale, and when they're testing, you can obviously see like good ROAS, but as soon as they start to scale, that's when the ROAS starts to drop. So if that's you, then you're wasting a good opportunity there. And lastly, this is like, I almost hear this on every other call that I go on. The agencies overpromise and underdeliver. So you could pay agencies thousands of dollars each month for terrible or mediocre results, and at best you'll just keep on switching agencies because they perform and then they suddenly start underperforming, or they underperform from the scratch, and it just ends up in you losing a lot of money. And you keep on repeating the whole cycle of finding new agencies, working with freelancers, or trying the ads yourself. Or what you could do is second option. You can work with us, and within 3 months, you would be fully ranked to add an extra $100,000 per month within the next 3 months or less to your bottom line. We will implement all of our strategies and all of our frameworks that I just walked you through, and it's going to make your brand unreasonable to not see better returns. And we have access to some of the best advertisers, copywriters, and media buyers in the world. And I'm not just saying this, and talking about my team, but we also invest thousands of dollars each year into courses. And these courses are run by some of the, like the top tier agencies. Now, obviously, these agencies, they do not work with everyone. And even if they work, they charge extremely high fees. So essentially, what we're doing here is we invest in their programs, and they have like these bi-weekly calls wherein we can show the accounts, and it's like a Q&A basically. So worst case scenario, if our strategies or if whatever we implement, we are not able to get you results, then we're going to take your account onto that coaching call. And we're going to have it reviewed by all these other media buyers who are spending in millions of dollars every day. And lastly, we use AI as a catalyst and not as a team player. So most of the agencies or most of the freelancers, what they do is when you're crafting an ad copy or when you're crafting a creative, they just use AI and they just copy paste the same AI. Now that will get you a poor CTR. And as we talked about previously, how CTR is very important. If you don't have the right CTR, then your funnel is going to break and you're going to be unprofitable overall. So instead of using AI as a main team player, we use it as a catalyst to review the copies and to get ideas and to sort of improve what we already have. So for this, all you have to do is click the link below and book in a 30-minute call with me. And this call is basically a simple conversation with myself and my CMO to see how we can come in and how we can help you guys. So it's not going to be like a hard sell. I'm not going to sell you guys and I'm not going to push you to work with us. We're just going to have like a simple 30-minute convo with myself, with my CMO, and we are just going to diagnose your business. We're going to break it down by its foundations, and we are going to see how we can implement all of these frameworks and help you guys scale. By the end of this call, if we think that you are a good fit, then I'll present you our offer, and if it makes sense on your end, then we can move forward and we can begin your journey to multiple 6-7 figures revenue each month. And this is just a 30-minute investment on your end, but it's going to be the most valuable investment that you make in the entire year for the business, because we're not just going to sell you. We're going to look at your funnel, we're going to look at your ad account, and we're going to give you advice on what we will do. So you can implement the advice. You could walk away with the advice. You can implement it yourself, or you could tell the current agency, and if you get good results with it, then you can keep it and you can keep on scaling with that. Now, who is this for? This is for e-commerce founders or e-com brands owners who are doing at least $15,000 a month or more. If you're looking for growth, you already have a proof of concept, but you're struggling to scale your brand. And if you have skin in the game and you're actually serious to grow, if you fit any of these criteria, then click the link below and we'll talk about soon. Here are some more results, before we wrap this up. Here's a client that we grew by 300% and almost quadruples their number of orders. For another client from scratch, 0 to close to like 5 CR. Another client here, 1 lakh rupees spent, 13x ROAS, and a 13 lakh rupee return from like 6th of December to 15th of December. So that's in like 9 days. And here's another client who's given us a review or testimonial. And here are some more clients. You can just pause the video to read. Again, for this client, a 4x ROAS at $700 spent and 3.3k made back. Here's another client that we scaled up to close to 170 orders with a total sales of roughly around 2 lakh rupees. And for another client here, $14,000 in sales. So if you want similar results, all you have to do is book in a call below, and I'll see you on the other side.